Ever find yourself staring out the window at 30,000 feet and like wondering how on earth those pilots navigate that crazy busy airspace? Me
Yeah.
too.
Yeah.
It's like a symphony of logistics and precision up there.
Hmm.
And it sounds like you're considering, taking a seat in the conductor's chair, air traffic management.
Yeah.
So we're diving into RoleCatcher's resources today
Okay.
to give you the inside scoop on this high-stakes career path.
Right.
Really get into it.
Yeah, what I think is really cool about RoleCatcher is they go beyond like just the typical job description.
Right.
They've actually like mapped out the whole journey from understanding like the day-to-day of an air traffic manager
Yeah.
all the way to like providing the tools that you would need to actually land the job itself.
Yes. And believe me, understanding the day-to-day is an understatement.
Oh, yeah.
I thought I was prepared for this deep dive, but I was floored by some of the things air traffic managers actually handle.
Yeah.
For starters, it's way more than just talking to planes.
Right. RoleCatcher really emphasizes that, like multifaceted nature of the role. Air traffic control might be in the name, but you're coordinating a whole ballet of moving parts on the ground too.
This is where my jaw kind of dropped.
Yeah,
They have to deal with customer service.
it's true.
That's not something you usually associate with aviation.
Imagine like a flight gets delayed because of like a mechanical issue.
Oh, gosh.
You've got anxious passengers, a tight schedule to maintain, a whole crew waiting for instructions. The air traffic manager is often the one coordinating communication, finding solutions
Oh, wow.
to keep things running as smoothly as possible, even amidst, potential chaos.
Wow, talk about pressure.
Yeah.
That's like a whole other skill set on top of all the technical expertise. Speaking of pressure, can we talk about the work environment?
Okay, yeah.
Because I'm picturing something pretty intense.
You're not wrong. RoleCatcher doesn't sugarcoat it. Think constant noise
Yeah.
from, jet engines,
Well, yeah.
banks of radar screens requiring unwavering attention, and the weight of knowing that your decisions directly impact the safety of hundreds, sometimes thousands of people.
Yeah, okay, so not for the easily distracted then.
Right.
What stood out to me was how central technology is to everything they do. It's not just those old school radar screens anymore.
Yeah, not at all.
Yeah.
No, the source material highlights just how fast this field is evolving.
Wow.
Air traffic managers are using incredibly sophisticated systems. like
Yeah.
what's called the Standard Terminal Automation Replacement System, or STARS,
Okay.
which integrates real-time data from radar, weather sensors, flight plans
Oh.
to give controllers a dynamic view of the airspace.
Oh, it's incredible.
They need to stay updated on these systems, constantly learning and adapting to the latest technology.
Okay, so we've established it's a demanding job
Yes,
in a high-pressure environment.
for sure.
But what about the good stuff?
Okay, yeah.
RoleCatcher mentions great job stability and the potential for a really impressive salary. Plus, how many people can say they make life or death decisions on a daily basis? That's going to come with a certain level of excitement, right?
Yeah, and it's not just about the pressure,
Right.
The source material really digs into
Yeah,
the
yeah.
immense responsibility these folks shoulder. And for the right person,
Yeah,
that's incredibly motivating.
right,
But it's not like they just like throw you the keys to the control tower
right.
after, a few weeks of training or something.
Yeah, I was wondering about that. What does climbing the ladder in air traffic management actually look like?
So RoleCatcher breaks down like a pretty typical progression.
Okay.
You might start as an air traffic control assistant,
Okay.
providing support to the controllers, getting a feel for the rhythm of the job.
Mm-hmm.
It's like dipping your toes in the deep end before taking the full plunge.
Sounds like a smart way to make sure you can handle the heat before things get too real.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Then you could move into like a trainee position
Okay.
where you really start diving deep into the procedures, the regulations, all the nitty-gritty details. Think of it as boot camp for your brain.
Yeah.
This is where those long hours and intense focus really come into play.
Right.
And then eventually you work your way up to actually directing the planes as an air traffic control officer.
And RoleCatcher doesn't just tell you about it, they show you.
Exactly.
They've got these fantastic real-life profiles
Yeah.
of air traffic managers
Right.
at different stages in their careers, which really brings the whole journey to life.
It does. It does.
For example, they highlight how an air traffic control officer's focus kind of shifts to things like performance assessment.
Yeah.
So you're not just like directing the planes in the air,
Right.
but also constantly looking for ways to improve the system as a whole.
Exactly. And that's where solid education comes into play.
Right, because it's not like you can just walk in off the street with a love of planes and expect to land this job.
Right.
What kind of educational background are we talking about here?
Well, the usual suspects are their aviation management, aeronautical science,
Mm-hmm.
but RoleCatcher points out that even a business administration degree
Really?
can be surprisingly relevant.
No, that's not something I would have expected. How does that tie into, like, directing planes?
Think about it. Air traffic management is all about coordination, resource allocation,
Mhm.
strategic decision-making under pressure.
Mm-hmm.
Those are skills you hone in a business program,
Right.
just applied in a very specific, very high-stakes environment.
That's a fantastic point. So let's say you've got the education, you've got the passion. What else can someone do to kind of increase their chances of actually getting hired in this competitive field?
So RoleCatcher's all over this one.
Okay.
And the thing that jumped out at me was the emphasis on internships and volunteering.
Okay.
They say it's absolutely crucial for standing out from the crowd.
That makes sense, but what makes it so impactful?
Because one thing to understand the theory,
Right.
but it's a whole other ballgame to have, real-world experience under your belt.
Mm-hmm.
Internships at airports, volunteering at air traffic control facilities.
Okay.
It gives you a chance to put your knowledge into practice.
Right.
Pick up on the nuances. You just can't learn from a textbook.
Right.
And maybe even impress, a future employer.
So it's not enough to just ace your classes. You need to show that you're proactive and, like, eager to get your hands dirty, so to speak.
Yeah, precisely. And speaking of acing things, remember those interview questions we mentioned earlier?
Yeah.
They're no walk in the park either.
Now that you mention it, I'm starting to feel a bit more prepared, just like having gone through this deep dive with you.
Right.
It's like I've had like a crash course in Air Traffic Management 101,
Here you go.
but I'm also realizing how important it is to be ready for anything that they might throw at you in that interview.
Right.
And that's where RoleCatcher's platform seems like a total game changer.
Absolutely. It's like they thought of everything. A potential air traffic manager would need to succeed, not just in the interview, but, throughout their entire career.
Okay, so we've talked about what these folks do, the intense environment they work in, the career path itself, even the kind of education and experience you need to even get your foot in the door.
Yeah.
But let's talk more about RoleCatcher itself.
Sure.
We keep mentioning it, but what exactly is it about their platform that makes them so special?
Well, they have several unique features that really set them apart from just like the typical job board.
Okay.
One of the things that blew me away was their AI-powered CV and resume optimization tool.
Okay, I have to ask, how does that even work?
Okay.
Is it like magically rewriting your entire resume for you?
Not magic.
Yeah.
But pretty close. It analyzes your CV or resume and compares it to the specific requirements outlined in the job description for the position you're after.
Oh, wow.
Then it points out any gaps, any areas where you might be lacking.
Oh, gosh.
And suggests improvements.
So it's like having your own personal career coach in your pocket.
Exactly.
Giving you like personalized feedback
Mm-hmm.
and suggesting ways to make your application stand out from the sea of other hopefuls.
Exactly. And it doesn't stop there.
Oh.
They've also got this massive database of interview questions
Okay.
specific to the air traffic manager role,
Oh, wow.
even tailored to different levels of experience.
So you can practice answering common interview questions.
Yes.
Get feedback on your responses.
Yeah,
Maybe even like work out some of those pre-interview jitters.
you got it. They even have AI-powered video analysis for interview practice.
Oh my gosh.
You can record yourself answering questions,
Wow.
and the AI analyzes your delivery, body language,
Wow.
even the content of your answers.
Whoa, that's taking interview prep to a whole new level.
Right.
It's like having a personal interview coach, like dissecting your every move,
Yeah.
but without the awkward silence after you totally bomb a question.
Exactly. And remember those example profiles of air traffic managers at different stages in their careers that we mentioned earlier?
Yes.
RoleCatcher also connects you with a network of real people in the field,
Oh, wow.
giving you a chance to learn from their experience and get personalized advice.
It's like they've built this whole support system around you,
Right.
guiding you every step of the way. From like figuring out if this is even the right career for you, all the way to connecting with people who are already, living the dream.
Exactly. RoleCatcher is all about empowerment.
Right.
They're giving you the tools and the resources to take ownership of your career journey.
You know, it's funny. We started this deep dive by talking about those planes soaring through the sky. And here we are talking about AI and career coaching.
I know.
It really highlights how much more goes into air traffic management than like meets the eye.
It's so much more than just like directing planes, you know.
Right.
It's about problem-solving leadership, continuous learning, and embracing technology. And RoleCatcher clearly understands that.
Speaking of continuous learning, that's one thing that really stuck with me from all of this.
Okay.
It's not just about getting the job.
Right.
It's about thriving in a field that's constantly evolving.
Yeah.
The technology is changing. Regulations are being updated. These folks have to be on top of their game every single day.
You're absolutely right. And it's not just about like keeping, it's about leading the charge.
Yeah.
The source material really emphasized the need for air traffic managers who are not only skilled, but also innovative, always looking for ways to improve like safety and efficiency in the airspace.
Right. So as you're considering this career path, think about this.
Okay.
What does it take to go from being a competent air traffic manager to being one of the best?
Right.
The kind of leader others look to for guidance. Someone who is like shaping the future of aviation.
That's the million-dollar question.
Right.
And it's a journey RoleCatcher can equip you for every step of the way.
Well, there you have it. If you're considering a career as an air traffic manager, buckle up. It's a wild ride.
It is.
But incredibly rewarding for those who, crave a challenge and that responsibility of keeping our skies safe.
For sure.
And with RoleCatcher in your corner,
yes,
you'll have the tools, the resources, and the support to not just navigate that journey, but to truly soar